We have more and more people starting to believe that the LA wildfires were started by an individual or multiple individuals. Now we have even celebrities like Tyrese Gibbs agreeing with this specific statement just due to the understanding that he has about LA, Hollywood, and just the geography. We're going to get into that specifically, what Tyrese Gibbs had to say about that. But at the same time, what we're going to do is just go along where the evidence leads us. We have this one video footage here. It says the UC San Diego. It's footage, like government footage. And they happen to see this like black dot moving around where the smoke is starting to go off, which led to the entire fire. Now, at the same time, we do need to give leeway for AI stuff. So we're just going to give this one a look and then look at what other evidence is provided. So you can see a little like movement right there. And then begins to walk away.
I talked to a fireman once.
It's very coincidental that that movement was happening right where the smoke began to start. Okay. Now we have the post by Tyrese Gibbs. Let's get into what he had to say.
Dave from Calabasas. Someone is starting these fires. I said this yesterday. Everyone said that I was a conspiracy theorist. I was insensitive. I didn't know how weather works. There is no way that it goes from Malibu, the Palisades, all the way to Pasadena, Hollywood Hills, Studio City, then Calabasas. And then there was another one that was just lit in Pacoima minutes ago. There's just no other explanation than someone is lighting these fires. Apparently they had someone in custody for the Calabasas one that just happened. That's right near me. My whole entire car is packed, just waiting for something bad to happen because you don't know when it's going to happen. It's unpredictable. So that's really, all I have right now. If you have updates, please let me know. But someone is setting these fires in Los Angeles. So quick update from Calabasas.
Now that's a very interesting take on what's going on. Now let's read what Tyrese had to say. He says, "We all know this is true. Because if you know LA, one city where a few is burning is miles upon miles away from where another fire is burning. These are strategic arsonists, demonic people who are out here doing this. How could they ever be caught? When they set these fires, they run, and all of the ring cameras and or footage that could help catch these evil demonic people are burned. I was born and raised in LA. Fires happen, yes, every year, but it is so all over the place and so sporadic. Fire patterns don't work in this way. Please, God, make it stop." Now, this is another very good point being brought up as to why someone would believe that someone is out here starting these fires. Now, he clearly mentioned these are strategic arsonists, demonic people who are out here doing this. Now, from my point of view, I always say this is what's happening on the physical, but I believe that there are spiritual things going on. We cannot forget that this entire world is literally, we're in the battle between good and evil. Now, for an individual to do such a thing like this, they haven't invited the Spirit of God into their life, because for a person to do something like this, they had to have been under a specific demonic stronghold. That has to be firstly understood. We understand that the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So a person doing this, they were under demonic possession. That's what I like to say. It doesn't always have to look like friggin' the exorcism throwing up and levitating. It can literally just look like this. It's being influenced by the devil to another extent. So we have this footage right here on ABC, and they have set out this entire team of investigators to find out what caused this fire. Just the fact that they're trying to look for the cause, to me, leads me to think that it ain't just no regular wildfire. It wasn't just from the sun or just burning up. There's some external factor, like another person, that could have definitely done this right here for whatever specific agenda they had. It could have easily just been sacrificing, which we're going to get into with this next post we're going to look at by Marlon Wayans. But look what they're saying here.
Investigation into the cause of the deadly inferno. A task force, which includes local, state, and federal investigators, is trying to determine how the wildfire started, interviewing residents as they search for clues. Here's ABC's Alex Stone with the new details coming in tonight.
Tonight, authorities investigating the origins and causes of the devastating wildfires in Los Angeles. The Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, or ATF, taking the lead of the newly formed Los Angeles Regional Wildfire Investigative Task Force.
This task force is made up of local, state, and federal partners designed to investigate the cause of these fires and to see if there's any connection between them.
It remains unclear how the Pacific Palisades fire started last week, but the agency says its certified fire investigators have been on the scene. Professionals whose training includes starting their own fires in a controlled environment.
If they can understand how they can set fires and how fires transition through a building, they can better understand how to investigate.
According to the U.S. Forest Service, nearly 85% of wildfires in the United States are caused by humans. Culprits include unattended campfires, burning debris, equipment malfunctions, discarded cigarettes, and intentional acts of arson. And data collected by the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection shows at least 8 of the most destructive wildfires in the state's history have been linked to electrical and power lines. ABC News learning tonight Southern California Edison, one of California's major private utility companies, has filed 2 electronic safety incident reports pertaining to the Eaton and Hearst fires. A sign investigators might be examining if the utility's equipment contributed to an ignition. Lindsay, Southern California Edison is required to report any incidents potentially involving its equipment. That prompts an investigation by the state of California. Lindsay.
Alex, thank you. The ATF is leading the investigation into the cause of the deadly inferno. A task force, which includes local, state, and federal investigators, is trying to determine how the wildfire started, interviewing residents as they search for clues. Here's ABC's Alex Stone with the new details coming in tonight.
Tonight, authorities investigating the origins and causes of the devastating wildfires in Los Angeles. The Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, or ATF, taking the lead of the newly formed Los Angeles Regional Wildfire Investigative Task Force.
We have this comment right here. It says the government is going to investigate the government. They can play villain and hero at the same time is essentially what he's saying. And we've had a lot of other catastrophic events that the cause is definitely questionable whether it was the government or not, especially within the past couple. I mean, honestly, just think about all of the most catastrophic events in America.
Force.
This task force is made up of local, state, and federal partners designed to investigate the cause of these fires and to see if there's any connection between them.
It remains unclear how the Pacific Palisades fire started last week, but the agency says its certified fire investigators have been on the scene. Professionals whose training includes starting their own fires prompts an investigation.
Okay. So now we have that in mind. We have investigators trying to figure out who did it, essentially. 85% of the fires are done by human beings. I mean, that's a statistic in itself right there as to where, you know what I'm saying, which side you should really be leaning towards. But I found this caption right here by Marlon Wayans very, very interesting. Let me see if I can make this a bigger screen for you guys. Found it very interesting. This Hollywood sign that's being burnt, that's AI. And this is why it's going to be very, very important. Like I said in my last video, for us, we can't be led by our eyes anymore. We cannot be led by the internet because obviously this looks real. But we have to actually move with understanding rather than just what we see. It says, wow, this image got me thinking spiritually. Not sure if it's real or not. Don't care. We know it's not real. To all my tribe of friends, family, executives, agents, managers, crew members, this ain't Hollywood burning. It's a rebirth. This is rinsing our souls of all the devastation we have endured over the past 5 years. COVID, strikes, fires, etc. This is the moment we come together as an entertainment community. Through all this tragedy, let's focus on triumph. Everything is God. May we all hear him. He is screaming at us. Everything will be okay. Even better than before. It's not the end. It's a beginning. Love and prayers to all those affected. I love all of us. To all my friends that have lost their homes, I am saddened yet happy that you have your lives. These things are replaceable, but life is not. Big hugs and love. I find rainbows whenever I'm in a storm. Some people just find gloom. Now, the only thing that he really mentioned spiritually clearly was him saying, this is rinsing our souls of all the devastation we have endured over the past 5 years. And now keep this in mind. He's specifically speaking to his tribe of friends, families, executives, agents, managers, crew members. He's speaking to the entertainment community. This is rinsing our souls of all the devastation we have endured. Now, I don't understand how a catastrophic event like this can be rinsing souls. I do understand from the Old Testament and through satanic practice that I have not participated in, but I do understand that sacrifice was needed for them to be forgiven of their sins. This is how it worked in the Old Testament, and this is what religions do till this day. Sacrifice had to be made. As Christians, as people who follow Jesus Christ, there is no sacrifice that needs to be made. The sacrifice was Jesus. He paid for us. If we don't have Jesus paying for our souls, there are individuals that do make sacrifices to whatever God that they have for the cleansing of their soul. Now, with that information there, you can come to your own conclusion as to what God he's talking about. You can come to your own conclusion as to what God he's talking about. Because just someone's mentioning God, that doesn't mean it's your God. It does not mean it's your God. I found that very interesting right there. Comment down below what you guys think. What do you think this Hollywood, LA catastrophic wildfire event really meant? Is it just a wildfire that formed from the sun and heat and wind? Or was there someone that intentionally lit it for whatever their specific agenda was? It could even been to sacrifice. Someone that's lighting a wildfire is demonic in itself. Could have easily been to sacrifice. What do y'all think, though? Comment down below. I'm going to catch you guys in the next video.